Family, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube, entering the bye week. We are fresh off the bye week. We enter LSU week, and we start with Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide? What's up, fam? Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Monday's show. It is already November. My goodness, we missed the wake up. It's the first of the month. It is the 3rd, and it is LSU week. I appreciate y'all joining me. I hope you had an amazing bye week. And get inside the comment box. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. Got back yesterday from a little bit of a vacation. It felt good. I'll tell you kind of the back end about the vacation with the kids and, always kind of good to unplug. But my goodness, the news, right? The news just does not stop, and eager to talk about some college football and, of course, Alabama football as we enter this LSU week. And man, you know what? It's a one-game season. Alabama certainly controls its own destiny. We already know that. But it's a one-game season, and you can't get ahead of yourself at all in this new world of college football, right? Because any given Saturday, and I think all the competition that you see in the SEC starting to rise up, and a game that I would, started out yesterday talking about was kind of that Texas and Vanderbilt game. Now, has Texas found itself? I don't know, and I think that's what's kind of separated Alabama from the rest of the pack is the consistency of the quarterback play. Like, yeah, did Arch Manning look good against Vanderbilt? Yeah, so did Diego Pavia. But I think the separation from a consistent play from a quarterback is going to be able to take you as far as you need to go, right? Like, yeah, you can win some big games with the quarterback that is pretty good, but if the quarterback is not consistent, you're not going to be able to go to the distance. So that's why I think, like, peeling back to Ty Simpson, man, the season that he's put together, and most importantly, staying consistent has been high level of play for Alabama overall. So going to the back end of the stretch, look, I'll tell you right now, and this isn't rat poison, I mean, it's just the facts. If Alabama, we're right now 7-1, right? Alabama 7-1 on the season. If they go out and they make an entire run and they win the rest of the way, they play 7 more games, okay? If they're not top 4 spot in the playoffs, then they'd have 8 more games. So theoretically, we just kind of do a whole restart right now if they don't get into the SEC championship. I know that's far ahead. It's an LSU week, and an interim coach for LSU, an interim coach for Auburn. It's silly season, and it starts now. So I appreciate y'all kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Kind of recap the scores real quick before we look at the weekend weather by North Alabama Storm Chase. We'll start on the left. You have Ohio State. They were able to beat Penn State by a score of 38-14. A game that was a little bit close during that opening half. Sometimes those games are, as you can see, it was 17-14 before Ohio State kind of pulled away. Julian Sayin is having a wonderful season. That's a really good quarterback. He was here for only, I think, a month, and a lot of people were talking about Coach Saban saying that he sat him on the bench for a whole year. I think Coach Saban was talking about Ty Simpson, right? I think we can all agree he was talking about Ty Simpson, not about Julian Sayin, because Sayin was only here for 1 month before he bounced. I saw him out in California when I was out there for the Rose Bowl, and then he bounced out. But he's having a wonderful season. I'm happy for him. Seems like a good kid, and it seems like him and Ty is still in contact, which is good to see. Indiana able to beat up on Coach Locke's Maryland Terrapins by a score of 55-10, and then you had Georgia able to survive Florida in the world's biggest cocktail, right? 24-20. You had Ole Miss taking it to South Carolina, and the score. They kind of scored 10 points in the back end. South Carolina is a tough out for anybody, as you know. Ole Miss now 8-1 and 5-1 in SEC play as Lane Kiffin continues to do his thing. You had Georgia Tech suffer its first loss on the season, losing to NC State. NC State, I watched that game on my phone. They had a lot of athletes in that game, so they're able to give Georgia Tech its first loss, but Georgia Tech still not out of the ACC championship game. And you have Texas beating Vanderbilt. As I said in the opener, it was Arch Manning versus Diego Pavia, 2 quarterbacks going back-to-back. Vanderbilt scores 21 points in the 4th quarter, just kind of ran out of time. Otherwise, I think they'd probably have Vanderbilt winning. What does that do for kind of the SEC? Well, I'll show you in just a second. You have SMU handed Miami, its second loss. Miami is eliminated from the playoffs, right? It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Tuesday when the college football playoffs drops, because who also has 2 losses? Notre Dame. And guess who beat Notre Dame? Yeah, Miami. So I don't know what's going to happen in that regard. We'll talk about more of that later on. Rhett Lashley signs a new deal with SMU. And you have the Mustangs 4-1 in ACC play. Notre Dame able to move to 6-2 on the season, defeating Boston College. And you have Oklahoma knocking out Tennessee by a score of 33-27. You know, Oklahoma coming to Tuscaloosa in a couple weeks. That would kind of be like a caution type game. I think that, you know, Oklahoma with that defense that they have, and that's kind of a game that you got to look for kind of, here in a couple weeks. Beating a good Tennessee team, too. Virginia, still 5-0 in ACC play. They're able to beat Cal 31-21. And you have Louisville able to take down Virginia Tech 28-16. And then last but not least, you have Utah taking down Cincinnati by a score of 45-14. So, college football absolutely popping right now. And, it's week by week. You can look out. You can look all over the place, but right now it's any given Saturday. For this weekend here in Tuscaloosa, and the temperature definitely starting to drop. I think it was, let's see what the temperature is right here, 52, not bad right now, but kind of in the morning time is a little bit colder. I'm not a cold weather type person. I like it nice and hot, okay? But for the tailgate, you got 71, and for a kickoff under the lights, 64 degrees, and for that fourth quarter, you have 59-degree temperature, courtesy of North Alabama Storm Chase. You guys doing all right? We'll give some shout-outs in just a minute, which is right now. So let's see who's checked in the house today. We got Marcus from St. Pete's. What's up, brother? We got Bishop, Sir Kevin Cook. Good morning to you as well. Mindy Miss Careless, good morning. Dana, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Chris from New Jersey, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Miss Anita Waters, good morning. We have Shelly, what's up? Happy Monday. We have Bruce Williams checking in as well. We have Crystal Jones, and we also have Jeff Stapleton. What's up, Jay? Jeff, good to see you this morning, bro. I hope all is well. We got Andy from up in Denver, where they hit a high of 80. Oh, it hit 82 in Denver. Wow, 82 in Denver? What? Come on. We have Debbie. What's up, Debbie? Good to see you as well. Hope you're off to a good start. KTK, what's up, man? And Jack, what's up, bro? Good to see you inside the channel. And then Shaq Adams. Kyle, what happened to YouTube TV channels? We'll talk about more in just a second, because I have a question for you. What are you going to do? Because I have YouTube TV as well. We'll talk about that next, actually, because I have a couple questions for you. I'm loving this cooler weather, says Joe Crooms out in Phoenix City. And Dano says, check out ESPN Unlimited for $30. And I don't know. Jack, dog, you're going to be the first dude to get kicked out of the show, bro. And Wade's World, bro, what's up, man? Happy to see you. All right, so before I move on, I have to ask you, with this whole YouTube TV deal in ESPN breaking up, what are you going to do? Like, what is your game plan for tomorrow night, because you got the college football playoff show, and then for Saturday, as Alabama and LSU are taking place on ABC or ESPN? I think my game plan right now is, because I have YouTube TV, right? I talk about this frequently. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try out, it kind of looks like right now, the play is FUBU, all right? Who has FUBU? Am I even pronouncing that correct? But it seems like FUBU. So look, Rocket Sound even says it right here. I think Disney is trying to send us subs from FUBU ESPN now that Disney owns 70% of FUBU. Yeah, and I get it. Look, it's Disney, it's Google. The customers get kind of lost, inside of all of it. I right now have ESPN Plus, but I have YouTube TV. People were talking about, I don't know what, going to Hulu. People were talking about getting an antenna. I thought that I was going to get an antenna, I guess. But the problem, let me rephrase this, though, and I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'd love feedback for you guys inside the comment box. But remember when we were, like, connected to, I don't know, cable, or we had DirecTV, or we had Dish, right? We started paying probably like a $130 to, like, I don't know, $170. It got expensive, and this was like, 7 to 10 years ago, right? If you're kind of age, you know about this. For the younger cats, you don't know where we're at right now, because now it's kind of the streaming world. Well, when YouTube TV first started and kind of all this first started, it was under $50. And then it slowly kind of increased price by price by price to where we're at right now. It's just like we are basically back to square one when we were paying $100 to $150 for all this stuff, right? Because for me, I want to watch NFL. I want to watch a red zone. I want to watch, Alabama football and college football. So, like, what is the best plan for me? I don't know, what we're going to do in terms of going forward. You know what I'm saying? So always eager to, get feedback inside the comment box in terms of what we're going to do going forward. So I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Good to see you guys. As you know, I was on a little vacation and felt good. You got to kind of pull away and, make time, especially for the kids, right? Because I think, hold on one second. All right. How to take care of that. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. I had to pull away and just hang out with the kids. So we went to Orlando, took them out there. We went to a bunch of different places is amazing. And I have my top 10 rides coming for you at the back end. And I am not a roller coaster type person at all. But, when you're with the kids and you got, your little girl saying, come on, daddy, you got this, you got to kind of soldier up. So today's goal, we got 10 super chats up in the tank for Monday. And then, of course, we're watching Coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference on at 12 p.m. And we'll kind of, have the highlight points of that. Right. All right. So today's goal, let's see if we can hit it. 10 super chats on Monday. All right. As you know, this weekend, another coach went down, and we thought this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. It kind of felt like only a matter of time until it happened, and it happened after Auburn lost to Kentucky. Okay, so you lose to, Kentucky, and you kind of look to now the openings across the world of college football. Were you surprised, yes or no, that Hugh Freze got fired? Type yes or no inside the comment box. I mean, no. He's not going to be the last coach to get fired. You kind of look at Auburn football, and you look at the trajectory after Gus Malzahn. I don't know. I can't even imagine how frustrating it must be to be an Auburn fan, because this program, they should have never fired Malzahn. Honestly, he could beat Saban every once in a while. It was a good, every once in a while they'd have a couple good teams. They were much better under Malzahn than they've been under the later coaches. So I'm not surprised that they eventually fired Freze. Now it's where do you go? So DJ Durkin, as you know, will be the interim football coach. And here's kind of a list of some of the coaching openings that we have. We have Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, LSU, Oklahoma State, Oregon State, Penn State, Stanford, UCLA, Virginia Tech. And it's only November. November just started. Right? There's going to be more firings in December. And I know what's on your mind as you look to the board. You're like, well, would Ryan Grubb go any of these places? No. I don't think Ryan Grubb goes to one of these places, not even UCLA, as we talk about, him being a West Coast guy. I don't think you go to any of these jobs, right? All these jobs, which job, when you're kind of looking at the board right here, could you win, quickly at? I mean, Florida and LSU, I guess, kind of jump out because they're in the SEC. But the SEC, it's going to take years. And guess what? It's any given Saturday. So whoever takes over these jobs has a lifespan of 2 to 3 more years, period. All right? It's just that, the SEC is crazy. That's why you got to kind of be thankful for what you have in Coach Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer in year 2, and Bama's not going anywhere. This foundation is only getting more solidified. Week by week, as he builds it, Alabama is about to go on a serious, serious tear. All right? Alabama is about to separate themselves even from kind of, the rest of the pack in the SEC. It's a one-game season, and a slip-up would be, drastic. But I'm just saying, what Coach Kalen DeBoer has right now is crazy. Who are, honestly, who's kind of on the hot board for, Auburn? Or for some of these other jobs. As you see, Freze, 15-19 at Auburn. It was 4-5 this season. The buyout was 15.8, right? Chump change. That's why I think college programs, they're man, we need your money so bad. We need it desperately. And then they're oh, we need $50 million. Bam, we got it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I don't know. So for Arkansas, I have no idea who gets this job. Who are some names on the hot board for Auburn? Is it your typical names that we all just see? Is it Marcus Freeman? Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it Nick Saban? Who's a John Summerall? John Summerall, my God, that guy is going everywhere, right? The Tulane coach. He's going to Arkansas. He's going to Auburn. He's going to Florida. He's going to LSU. Eli Drinkwitz, right? He's leaving. All these coaches are leaving. Rhett Lashley, he's leaving. And then what happens is all these coaches are signing contracts to like extending out because the coaches are starting to realize, the grass isn't always greener at somewhere else, especially in the SEC. Have we heard like a real front runner for Florida? Eli Drinkwitz. If Drinkwitz goes to Florida, he will be there for 2 years and he will be fired. That's just it. Whoever takes over Florida, if it's John Summerall, he'll be fired as well. Auburn, the only cat that I think would be scary, all right? Listen up. The only cat that I think would be scary at Auburn, I say this name all the time. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3, Alex Golesh. Alex Golesh would be the only coach that'd be scary if he went to maybe Florida or Auburn. I think Auburn, obviously. But everyone else is just, we have no idea. And these aren't really good jobs, in my opinion. You want to go to Penn State? Is Loxley done at Maryland? I don't know. I'm just saying, if Alex Golesh if Auburn wanted to get serious, this is what I do. I call up Golesh, and I'd be like, look, come over here and do what you got to do. And we're going to give you 2 years. That's it. We're not going to sign you to a 10-year contract for $200 million. We're going to be realistic about this. We're going to pay you $5 million per year to come to Auburn, okay? We're going to give you the tools, the resources to beat teams like Kentucky, to beat teams like Arkansas, and give Alabama hell. And that's it. We're not going to pay you $10.5 million when you haven't done jack you know what, right? That's the scariest coach, but they won't. It's Auburn. You know what I'm saying? It's Auburn. So I haven't seen that Coach Loxley's gone at Maryland. I know you guys are talking about that inside the comment box. It's coaches get fired all the time, and now is kind of the time. It's what's wild is it seems like it's getting earlier and earlier, right? But I have no idea who's going to be Florida or LSU. I don't even look at the hot boards because it's all the same names. It's like Lane Kiffin is taking all these jobs. It's ridiculous. Lane is not going to – is Lane going to leave Ole Miss? Why? Why would he leave Florida? Why would he leave Ole Miss to go to Florida or LSU? For what? For more pressure? What can he do at Ole Miss that he's doing at Florida and LSU? What, he's going to win 10 games and lose to Alabama? He already does that. Win 10 games and maybe give Kirby a run? He already does that. He's got it made at Ole Miss. Made. And the standards at Ole Miss are not as high as Florida and LSU. Florida and LSU believe that they could still win championships. They can't. You can maybe make the playoffs, but they don't understand kind of realistically where they're at yet. And the problem is everybody compares themselves still to Alabama. Hey, Alabama's doing it. Alabama's doing it. No, like Alabama's a whole different breed, bro. You got to hang on to what you got and just welcome to the NFL, where a 7-4 season is pretty damn good. And I know you're like, what? That's only 3 games over 500. Yeah. Well, welcome to the NFL. All right. You follow the 49ers. They're 6-3, and they're one of the best teams in the NFL with a backup quarterback. Okay. So, I don't know. I don't know who's going to Auburn next. It's DJ Durkin. I don't know who they hire. It'll be someone that we probably haven't even thought about. But the coaches that are going everywhere so far are Lane Kiffin. He's taking every job, and so is John Summerall, right? All right. Talking about college football playoffs, right? Playoffs? Here's a look at kind of the teams that are projected right now, bunch of rat poison right down your throat for Tuesday night, okay? So you have Indiana. I guess Indiana, people feel, I cannot wait till this team plays somebody with a true heartbeat, okay? Because right now it's like, yeah, Indiana continues to beat on a lot of powder puffs, but until they've really played somebody, it's going to be hard for me to jump on this bandwagon. I get it. I like the quarterback. I even like the head football coach, okay? But until they really beat somebody, and this isn't some SEC bias, this is just for real. Look, the defense looks good. They look pretty good. the jury's still out for me. I don't care. I want to see them play Ohio State. And then after that, and if it's, moderately close, I promise you, Ohio State will beat Indiana. Is there anybody that thinks that Indiana will beat Ohio State inside the comment box? Anybody? All right? I get it. They're dominating the competition, but so would Alabama if they were playing the same teams, right? So would A&M if they were playing the same team. So would Georgia. So would Ole Miss. If Ole Miss was in the Big Ten, if Ole Miss was playing Indiana's schedule, you'd have the exact same record. Ole Miss would be able to beat Dan Lanning. That would be like his one big win. Ole Miss would be have the same exact record. I agree. A lot of people saying Indiana's legit and stuff. I get it, and I respect your opinion. I am not going to jump on the Hoosiers bandwagon right now. Nope. Don't find me on it. I don't believe it. I don't. I think the quarterback's good, and I think they got a lot going on for them. They're beating the teams they're supposed to. You guys feel it, and I love you guys. You know how I feel about you guys. But I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. This isn't because I don't like them or whatever. It's just I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. Sorry. Ohio State, this is a good football team, right? I mean, they've proved that they can be up for it. And this is the team that's going to be hard to beat. Quarterback's good, really good defense. Jeremiah Smith is ridiculous. Some of the catches that this dude made, it's crazy how good he is, okay? He's so good. It's ridiculous. All right, that one-handed catch that he made was nasty. Texas A&M, good football team. Their quarterback, a problem. I think he gave Alabama a problem. Mike Elko, he's the right coach for the job. Their best win, I guess, is against Notre Dame, right? Winning 41-40. The team that's doing things. And I get it. This is Bama football on YouTube. But what Alabama has done this season, they've beaten 4 ranked teams. Why have we not as a society right now accepted that is hard to do, right? You lost to Florida State. Well, it's fine. Penalize them for the rest of eternity? It's about what have you done for me lately in life, in college football specifically. This is the hottest football team in the country. Plain and simple. The quarterback is playing out of his mind, and the crazy thing is that this team hasn't even played its best football yet. The ceiling for it, let me ask you this. Has Alabama played its best football this season? Or do they still have a large ceiling? I think that this team isn't even halfway there. If this football team, there's a couple things that they have to fix, and I see people calling for AK Deer, he's going to come in and solve the world's problems. It's not a running back problem. You think Ryan Grubb is stupid enough to be I'm going to keep AK Deer on the bench and risk losing my job? No, it's not him. AK Deer is a monster, but it's not his time yet. It's as simple as that. Ryan Grubb is the best thing that has happened to Alabama since Kalen DeBoer, which isn't, it's a couple years ago, but you know what I'm saying? Ryan Grubb's not an idiot. Ryan Grubb is not going to risk his career on playing the wrong running back. There's something going on. It's the offensive line. I already said that, and kind of some of the schemings. But I don't think Ryan Grubb is an idiot. Alabama's playing. It's the highest. They're the hottest football team. And you look at, and I'll talk more about Alabama kind of on the back end. But I'm telling you, they have 3 consecutive home games, and then they play the Haunted Barn. 2 of these teams are so scared that they already fired their coach. They don't want to get embarrassed. Georgia, good football team. Can't beat them. You have to literally, the clock has to run out. These guys are the cardiac king. Okay? The come from behind stuff is getting a little bit old with Georgia, but they win. Okay? Ole Miss, this team is kind of climbing up on my radar. That running back is good that they have. Lane Kiffin is starting to get a lot of momentum. But until Lane Kiffin wins a really big game, I'm not buying them. He's got to win a really big game, okay? Really big game. What's the biggest game Lane Kiffin's won? He's the biggest name in college football, right? He's the best thing since Coach Saban, right? But what has he done? Feels like and look, I have no personal issue with Lane Kiffin. Like, he doesn't even know I exist. But the fact is like, what has he done cosmically to why he's the best football coach right now in college football? He has more notoriety than Kalen DeBoer. Now, Kalen DeBoer just sits quietly with a 19-3 record versus top 25 and his 6-1 record versus top 10. What's Lane Kiffin's top 25 record? Post it inside the comment box. Yeah. Oregon. Oh, my God. Oregon. It's the same old, you know what? It's a really good football team, I guess. We're scared of, like, the Dan Lanning. He's a tough dude. This guy, all this stuff. And they fizzle out. They're a better Miami team. You know what I'm saying? They're a better Miami team, but they run out of gas. BYU, I don't even want to look. I have nothing against the state of Utah. I like the state of Utah. But as a whatever I am, a YouTuber or whatever, come on, BYU here, it is stupid. Why? Why is BYU here? Help me. Kyle, let's get Bama hater on the line. Oh, man. This dude's a Miami fan, and we tried it, and I love Bama hater. He calls in and gets everybody riled up because he's a Miami fan, and he felt like Miami, this was the year. I actually thought Miami at one point was serious, right? They did look serious. But when you eat a lot of rat poison for breakfast, that's what happens, man. You end up just, bam, one day the rat poison just comes out, and you find out that Carson Beck was who he thought he was. I already told you guys my Scooby-Doo theory. He took off his mask. He was the same quarterback as last year. Hey, Wayne, thanks for the super chat, dog. What are you going to say? All right, there's Lane Kiffin's record against top 25, but he's the greatest thing, right? Because talk like Saban. Right? And he's fun. I like his uplifting spirit. But 11-24 against 25? Are you kidding me? Like, it's crazy. All right, let's see. Texas, this is an interesting team right now because they beat Vanderbilt, who I like Vanderbilt. I do. Texas, man, what the biggest disappointment in college football has been Texas this year. But the season is not over for them because they just beat Vanderbilt, okay? So they moved into 5th place in the SEC. Okay, they still got a couple games to finish out, and I have Texas in the playoffs right now. I'm not jumping on like the Texas bandwagon. You know how I feel about Sark. I like Sarkisian, but the quarterback's inconsistent. Now, if he can play like that for the remainder of the season, yeah, we got ourselves a playoff team. But the guy's been up and down, bro. It's like, all right, if you get your stuff together, we could roll with you, man. But like until then, nobody's gonna take you serious, okay? But I'm taking you more serious than BYU. BYU and Texas Tech play this weekend, right? So that should kind of figure itself out for the Big 12. Oklahoma, I think this team has a very good defense. Actually, the number 9 defense in the country, right? Brett Venables is known for defense. He's beat Alabama when he was at Clemson. He beat Alabama last year. This is a team that I don't take lightly. The quarterback, he's good, right? This is a team that they kind of gone up and down, and I don't know. I'd watch for Oklahoma 100%. Keep your head on a swivel. Vanderbilt, good football team. You might be out of the playoffs, though, because you lost to Texas. I felt that was like a playoff play-in type game. You know what I'm saying? And then you have these teams down here, the scrub row. You have this is scrub row. So you have Virginia, can't throw the football. North Texas, the Mean Green, no. James Madison, no. Alex Gallus, you had your opportunity, but you lost to Memphis, no. Notre Dame, the media loves you, so you'll be inside the playoffs somehow, some way over Notre Dame, which makes no sense because they already beat you head-to-head. And Georgia Tech, Brent Key, we love you, bro, but you got to beat North Carolina State. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Some of these teams get a little less they're a little less harsh on these teams because they're like, well, they played them close. Well, if Bama lost to North Carolina State, Alabama would be out of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Alabama is held to a different standard. We accept that. It's unfair, but that's the life we live. If Alabama lost, think about it. Hear me out. If Georgia Tech, who is just undefeated, 8-0, if Alabama was 8-0 and they just lost to NC State, oh my God, right? YouTube TV and ESPN will probably form a deal so people could talk about it. But no, everyone's like, no, it's Georgia Tech. You know, they lose a game every once in a while. It's okay. Oh my God, if Bama lost to NC State, oh my God, Georgia Tech, I'm sorry, you're done. But they're really not, because they could win the ACC championship still. Here's the AP Top 25. All right, and this will probably, Tuesday, the college football playoff rankings come out in the evening time. These are the AP rankings. I know nobody likes them. They don't make sense. They whatever. But we got to go over them. All right. Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Bama 4, Georgia 5, Oregon 6, Ole Miss 7. That's probably, I would imagine, the college football playoff rankings look exactly like that. Right? Like 1 to 7. But the problem that I have with some of this is and I don't know how to fully explain this, but my biggest thing, and I get it, if Alabama's a top 4, who gives a damn, right? Well, you got to see where teams are positioned, whatever. But my argument is, and this is the hardest thing, is Alabama's won against 4 top 25 teams. Is that stronger resume-wise than a team that is undefeated and is beaten 2 ranked teams? Oregon, right, or Indiana. Indiana beat, I don't even know if Illinois is ranked anymore. I don't think they are. So let's just say they beat 1 ranked team. What resume is better? Undefeated, lighter schedule, a win against 1 ranked team, or a team that lost against an unranked team, a team that has beaten 4 consecutive top 25s from the toughest conference. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole Indiana versus Alabama, and I get it. If they're both top 4, let it be. I'm just curious to see what the rationale is on that. What's better? Does Indiana have a better resume than Alabama? Help me. Do they? Is it just a record based? Now, Alabama should have never lost to Florida State, but I think they've proven that, they're a better football team from that. I don't know. Hey, it's me, Marvin. What's up, dog? What's your question, man? Who has a tougher schedule? Or who has a better resume, Indiana or Alabama? Maybe it doesn't matter. But who has a better resume? Marvin, what's up, dog? What's your question? Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss. We kind of already talked about these teams here. BYU and Texas Tech, they play each other this coming week. Notre Dame's kind of there. You got to beat Notre Dame, like I always say, at least 5 times to get them out of the top 25. That's a playoff team, 1,000,000%. They're a lock. Oklahoma's kind of sitting right there with a 7-2 record, and then you have some other teams. So, Marvin, while I wait for your question, I'll get back to you in just a second. Let's see. So Marvin says this. If Bama and A&M finish in the top 4, do they have to meet in the SEC title game? So, Marvin, so you asked kind of right here. This is where we at. This is where we are at for the SEC standings. Okay, so you have Texas A&M. I think this is what you're talking about. So right now, Texas A&M is at the top of SEC. They are undefeated, 8-0 on the season. Bama is right behind them with a 7-0 record. Now, it's sorted by conference right here, so let me explain this because I know Ole Miss is ahead of Georgia. I'm going to tell you why, okay? Just hang on. Ole Miss, they lost to Georgia. So Georgia is really number 3, but the way that the SEC official site operates is it goes off the overall record, which gives them a higher overall value over here, their percentage, right? So this will update when Georgia wins its next game. So really the way that it should look is A&M 1, Bama 2, Georgia 3, Ole Miss 4, and then Texas 5 because they beat Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. That's how critical that game was that Texas won. Because now they can say, well, we beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma can say, hey, we beat Tennessee. And Vanderbilt's like, hey, man, we lost to Texas. So I have 5 teams getting in from the SEC. 5 teams, okay? And I think Texas, if they can win out, now what's interesting is Texas plays Texas A&M at the back end of the season. If Texas cannot win that game, they would go to 4-2, or whatever the record is, 5-2, 6-2, however it shakes out. And, the best thing is they beat Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. So I think they're still kind of safe at that number 5 spot, okay? Now, for the Big Ten, how many teams do you think get into the playoffs from the Big Ten? 3 or 4? I would imagine that it's 3, right? Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. Now, Oregon and Iowa, they play each other here in a couple weeks, and then Michigan plays Ohio State at the back end of the season. I would imagine that Oregon eventually is that number 3 team in the Big Ten. And I think they take 3 teams from the Big Ten. I don't think they take 4. Right? Dano and Jarvis are saying 3. Okay, me too. So I'm saying Indiana, Ohio State, and then Oregon eventually when it all shakes out. From the Big 12, I don't know. I would imagine 1, right? If we're up to 5 and 3 from the last 2 conferences, that's 8. Give us 9 right here with the Big 12 champ. Will it be BYU, right? Marcus, dog, I didn't see your super chat, dog. I'm just kind of on full mode right now. Let me see. And you guys have to understand, and I love you guys, but, like, this is a one-man band. So, like, I do the graphics, the super chat, and when I'm talking, I'll try to look at the chat as well. And if I miss, like, something inside the comm box, I swear it's nothing, like, intentional. All right? So please don't hold it. I can't even find it. Let's find it. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm talking, and now, like, I'm coming back to, all right, so here we go. All right. Marcus says this. Kyle, what did I say about Miami when I called in? I said they were pretenders and would lose another game. Yeah, that's the thing with Miami, bro, is they're there for a time. I saw the funniest graphic. It's like preseason hype, start to build, like start to beat all the softest teams, lose, and then, fizzle out, and then it just it's a circular cycle. From Miami. It's the funniest thing because it's happened now 2 times in a row when people thought that Miami was going to be there. I was even fooled. And you know what I'm saying? Now they're fizzled out. They're eliminated. They're going to be in like the Cheez-Its Bowl, right? So I appreciate you, Marcus. Thanks for the super chat, dog. I appreciate the love. DRG says this. If BYU loses to Texas Tech, they would still be second in conference. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't. So what I did, and I'm going to show you a graphic of how I kind of think the playoff rankings will look like on Tuesday. And I do feel that it'll just be 1 team from the Big 12. Is 2 teams going to make it, fam? 2 teams or just 1 team? Just 1, right? From the Big 12? All right. Patriot Life, you up in the house, dog. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. King's family, what's up, bro? Good to see you. And Virginia right here is now at the top of the ACC. Now, Georgia Tech is not out because Georgia Tech is still number 2. If they're able to beat Virginia, which I think they will if those 2 teams do play, and you still have Georgia Tech kind of make the playoffs. But my question is, how many teams from the ACC make the playoffs? 2? 1? I think 1. I think 5 from the SEC, 3 from the Big 10, 1 from the Big 12, which puts us up at 9, and then 1 from the ACC that's 10. 10, okay? I got 10 teams, right? And you got to take a team from this other conference. That's 11, right? I don't know. It's a 3-way tie, as you can see, Navy, Memphis, and North Texas, and then Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think at the end of the day, you'll only get 1 from those other conferences, and I think Notre Dame will get in. As you can see right here, Notre Dame has this 24% chance to get in. I think that'll rise as they continue to win. And guess what? This is what's going to help out Notre Dame. And I think it's such BS why the other teams are playing conference games and conference title games and beating up on each other. Notre Dame just wins out against a light schedule, and then they don't even play a championship game. So they end the season hot, and then they just waltz in. It's kind of that last spot, all right? So before I show you my college football playoff rankings, how I think they'll look Tuesday night, as you know, we got to give it up to our sponsor, Sleeper. Appreciate it. And you can download the app and get $20. You can get $100 deposit match up to $100. So you put in $100, you get $100 on top of that. You got to use the promo code, which is my promo code, Tailgate. As you know, I rock with Sleeper on fantasy football, more or less. It's great to make picks. This week, I will show you the more or less options for Alabama and LSU. I usually do some sort of a parlay. I'll let you know. I've been doing pretty well on NFL. I think that college is a little bit harder to kind of pick, if Ty will throw for more than 300 or whatever. But I've been doing pretty well in the NFL. But if you want that promo code, you got to support our sponsor. The promo code for Tailgate, the promo code is Tailgate when you download the Sleeper app, all right? So this is how I have it in terms of my rankings, what I think they'll look like on Tuesday night, okay? Now, these aren't like my final rankings. Like, I have a different set of rankings. These are just kind of predicting what the committee will do based on their criteria for Tuesday, okay? So I have Ohio State at number 1. I have Indiana at number 2. I have number 3, Texas A&M. And I think they give Indiana the number 2 because they're undefeated and they have a win against Oregon, right? Not to say, and I think they'll say that that's a better win than Texas A&M beating Notre Dame. You get what I'm saying? And then Bama, they'll be penalized because they lost a game. They're the only team within the top 4 that lost a game, but one of the hottest teams in the country. Jarvis, I see your super chat. I'll get to you in just a second. And the number 5 team, I got Georgia because they lost to Alabama. Number 6, I got Ole Miss because they lost to Georgia. Pretty easy at this point in time, right? And then number 7, Georgia with their loss to Indiana, right? And they don't have a strong kind of, strength of schedule outside of that. Number 8, I got BYU right now because they're undefeated before they play Texas Tech. And then you have number 9, Texas, following its win over Vanderbilt. At the number 10 spot, I'm over here. You got Virginia, the number 1 team from the ACC at this current point in time. And then you got Texas Tech. I guess they're kind of the best of the rest. So I guess I do have 2 teams in this model from the Big 12. And then the number 12 team is the AAC champ, would be like your Memphis, your Navy, or your North Texas, somebody like that. Is there anything that we disagree with on this map? Right here. And Jarvis with a super chat, dog. Thanks so much, dude. I think we got 3 super chats out of 10. Says, I hit a parlay on Sleeper this weekend, 25 to win. Are you kidding me? Damn, Jarvis. Yo, man, that's what's up. Yeah. Was it NFL or college? Good for you, man. That's a big parlay. Shoot. Attaboy, man. Cleaning up. Yeah, I think I haven't won anything like that. That's serious. Good for you, man. Yeah, hell yeah. Is there anything on this map that you would change? Right? I guess where it gets a little bit tricky for me is like, I'm sure it'll be this way for the committee as well, is like 10, 11, and 12. Like, what are you going to do in terms of how many teams from the ACC get in? I think it'd probably be 1, like I said, and the Big 12, and kind of comparing which team you take in there. But I think 1 through 7 is pretty easy, right? James B, what's up, dog? James B is saying stop playing. They aren't going to try to slide Notre Dame in there. Man, James, I really hope they don't. I think in the model that you look at, you might see Notre Dame climb in there as maybe like an 11 and keep that AAC champ in there. They have to. So, man, I don't know. I hope they don't. They've lost twice already. They lost to A&M. They lost to Miami. But you know how they feel about Notre Dame, man. It's crazy. Broderick says, I went 6 for 6, 320. Man, are you kidding me? Man, you guys cleaning up, man. That's what's up, Broderick. Good wins, you and Jarvis. All right? Good stuff. Appreciate you guys supporting the sponsor as well. All right, the black hoodie. All right, it's cleaned, it's washed, it's ready, and it's going to make its way from the Bryant Museum. I think it's so funny that people, when they saw it behind glass, they were like, oh, man, what's he going to wear? I promise you he has more than 1 black hoodie, all right? He probably has 5. They even gave John Gruden a black hoodie. Did you see this? So the black hoodie has been absolutely terrorizing people. Wisconsin, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, and LSU is next, all right? It's a rat poison game, and you know how that is. All right, we're going to come back to our next potential sponsor, which is TickPick, all right, because I got to show you some love for TickPick. HMA is a promo code, but we'll come back to TickPick in just a minute. I love using TickPick. Alabama All right, 10.5-point favorite against LSU. So my question for you inside the comment box, will Alabama beat it? Your confidence level, okay? Your confidence level that Alabama beats LSU by more than 10 points. More or less, like high or low on a scale of 1 to 10. That Alabama beats LSU by more than 10. Man, I'm going to say more. I think my confidence level is like sky high, and I'm not trying to, provide any more like rat poison or anything like that to a game, but I just think that this bye week came at the perfect time for Alabama football. And Coach Kalen DeBoer, as he stated a lot of times, is he likes to have his team watch other games in college football, which I think is a genius idea because you do understand that it is any given Saturday. The positives that I would say about Alabama football is they are very healthy, right? You have a lot of positive things going back. We don't have really a status update on the timetable of Quay Rusaw. I think he'll come back at some point in time, but there's no need to rush him, right? You want him 100%, and because you have number 42 who's balling out of control right now. But I would say the confidence level has to be very, very high going into this Saturday's game against LSU. And that's not like an arrogant standpoint. I think as fans, we just understand how well this team is playing right now, and they understand kind of that job's not done. They haven't clinched anything, nothing, right? I mean, Coach Saban wouldn't even look at the college football playoff rankings because he's like, why? There's really no point. Like, it doesn't even matter, right? So kind of the injury update on a positive note, and we'll get Coach Kalen DeBoer here at 12, but Lazier Brooks will be back in action, which I think will be huge. I mean, my goodness. Who would have thought missing him, I mean, that made a difference, right? You also have Isaiah Horton, who's back, which will also be good. He's dealt with a couple small injuries, nothing major, but glad to see him back in the rotation. And then also you have Quay Rusaw, who Coach Kalen DeBoer said was making positive strides, but didn't necessarily give us a timetable. I would still imagine he's out for this weekend's game, but I think he's coming on. And Jeff Stapleton points out that Quay was on the field against South Carolina. Like on the sidelines, Jeff? Is that what you mean? That's an interesting update. Let me know. Paul inside the comment box says this. Hey, Kyle, how dope would it be if Coach Kalen DeBoer comes out of the tunnel LSU game with the hood on? Man, yeah, if he like flips up, if he goes like full hood mode, he had to save that for the natty or something like that. But man, I'm telling you, and I think we can all imagine, and we all saw it because it went viral. The University of Alabama had a clip of Coach Kalen DeBoer running out in this last game. Oof, man. That guy he's the intensity. It's kind of like, you know what? Coach Kalen DeBoer kind of reminds me of like the Hulk kind of now because he's like got it inside of him. And like when it's ready to go like nuclear, he goes nuclear and he like has it in him, but he's able to kind of like bottle him up. Bottle it up. If there's a superhero, maybe that's not the best one. If there's a superhero who Coach Kalen DeBoer would be, who would it be like? Because it's internal and you can't really see it, but you can't judge a book by its cover because clearly that competitive spirit and desire is like burning red hot in him. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Jeff says that Quay was on the sideline in his uniform. Okay, good to know, man. Yeah, so maybe in terms of him actually getting on the field, maybe closer than we anticipate. Yeah, so Jeff says that Quay Rusaw was in the last game on the sidelines in his jersey. Didn't play. Coach Kalen DeBoer said that it's a positive update. So it looks like Quay Rusaw making great progress. Don't take 42 out. Make sure he's 100% healthy to go. And then bring him back, not to take 42 spot, but to add quality depth, okay? The more depth, the better. All right, it's me, Marvin. I see you, dog. We finished the season under DeBoer 4-0 in November. Oh, interesting stat. I didn't know that either. Yeah, I love that. Wow, plays well in November. Birthday month for me. Yeah, birthday month coming up. It's I love November. You got the birthday. You got Thanksgiving. College football championship odds from FanDuel, okay? You got Ohio State, you got Indiana, and you got Bama, and then kind of a big gap between the rest of the teams. So Ohio State in at plus 220. I think, yeah, I mean, look, it's a team that's playing at a very high level. Indiana, I already expressed kind of my, feelings on the Hoosiers at this point in time. And look, I might have to go get like a clown thing like Pate does when like you've made a mistake. I just don't feel that, I get it. You guys like them. I just don't. right? I don't. Bama at plus 750. Those aren't terrible odds right now if you wanted to throw down something for Bama. And then Oregon and A&M and Notre Dame at plus 1,000, kind of going, the rest of the way. Let's see what you got. Do we have some, boys in the hoodie? Oh, I like that. I named it. It's Hoodie Man, Batman. Okay, I like that. Let's see this. RLS. The real reason Saban hired Kalen is because he sees a lot of himself in Kalen. Ooh, I like that. And, I mean, Saban is 1,000,000% in that process for sure. And no matter what, if people say that he wasn't, dude, Saban runs things here, period. Jeff Stapleton says, now Bama is starting to get back to players to add to our team. Turning it up, Kyle. That's what Jeff says inside the comment box. Eric D says his birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Eric D. Hope that you had an amazing birthday on November 2nd, man. That's what's up. What do you, is that Scorpio, right? These are my Scorpio crews. Sheila is saying that her birthday is on the 18th. Okay. Yeah. It's a Scorpio as well. Yeah. My birthday is the 22nd. And Eric D said his birthday is on the 5th. Okay. Yeah. We got a lot of birthdays rolling up here in November. That's what's up. Good to see. All right, another Rat Poison award, kind of just looking at the Heisman Trophy odds, right? You got Julian Saint at plus 175. You got Fernando at plus 220. And you got Ty at plus 340. Didn't someone inside the comment box drop a bet when it was like plus 1,100 or something like that on Ty? If somebody did, somebody's going to clean up. I forget who it is. But somebody laid down a bet. And I add this because it's getting serious. I mean, Ty goes this whole month. He's in Manhattan at the quarterback club up there. And we're watching him on TV. I don't know what station we'll be watching him on or what, service, FUBU or an antenna. Man, it's complicated. I don't know what we're going to do for the watch along. I think I'm not kidding you. I think for the watch along, I'm going to get myself an antenna. All right. Mario, what's up, dog? It's good, dude. You're late, but we still got you here. All right. Before I go over Alabama's next schedule and a couple remaining caps for the show, I want to tell you about a potential sponsor that I got hopefully rolling on board, which is TickPick. Use the promo code HMA. So if you want to go to like concerts, if you want to go to any type of event, festivals, whatever, you got to download the app, which is TickPick. Okay, it's only on your phone. And the promo code is HMA. Here's a quick commercial from TickPick, a potential sponsor. So you guys definitely support them. TickPick. I'll be back in 1 minute. Family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I don't know about you guys, but one of my biggest pet peeves is hidden fees when buying sports tickets. Why can't there just be one particular price that is set, and that's the price that I actually pay? If there was only an app where hidden fees didn't exist, well, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, TickPick. All right, huge shout out. With over 20 million downloads, TickPick has you covered. NBA, NFL, concerts, festivals, you name it. TickPick gives you the lowest price guaranteed. No fees. What you see is what you actually pay, okay? And, of course, I have a promo code for you. You can use the promo code, which is HMA, for $20 off your first set of tickets at TickPick with the purchase of more than $100. That's $20 off any tickets with the promo code HMA. Make sure you click the link in the description box and you download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, TickPick. All right, that's the latest from TickPick. All right, so the promo code, remember, when you check out is HMA. All right, so definitely I appreciate you guys rocking with TickPick. Alabama's remaining games look like this. LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and you take on Auburn, okay? The next 3 games. Now, this schedule sets up beautifully for Alabama football. It's a 1-game season, but if they could survive that meat of the schedule and you kind of look to this point early on, you're like, okay, you get out of that hell of a schedule facing all those top 25 teams. You got a schedule that, still presents challenging teams, but it's 3 out of the 4 games are at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Coach Kalen DeBoer is undefeated at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama is riding a 16-game home winning streak, which is the longest in the nation right now with Boise State at Bryant-Denny, right? Undefeated. You have LSU. They just fired its coach, right? This is a team that still has athletes, still has a quarterback, right? Still has weapons. And then you have Oklahoma. I'd be very cautious about each of these games for, the reason that they have guys. Oklahoma is a team that I am a little bit nervous about. This is a team that has an active defense and an active defense that can get too tight. Okay, this is kind of an important stretch right here, not only from winning, but the most important thing right here, fam, is a healthy standpoint. You get out of these games. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to blow out these teams. You don't need style points. What Alabama has already done is those are the style points. You win these games handedly, or you take care of business right here. It doesn't have to be 40-0 against anybody. You just win the games. Auburn, even though they did fire Hugh Freze, I do feel that just that rivalry game, I don't care. You know how I feel about that game, and I know you do too. Eastern Illinois, got to make sure that everybody's healthy and come with it, right? You can't go against Eastern Illinois and be like 10-0 at halftime. You'll be penalized for it. And that's just the truth. Now, when you kind of look to some rat poison thermometers, and we'll get out of this full screen and go to this full screen instead, the corn dogs over here on the left, it's an 80% chance on ESPN that they win this game. We've seen this before, and we've seen Alabama lose these games on the road, right? You got Frank Wilson taking over as an interim quarterback, but Alabama the heavy favorite, right? 10.5. And then you got the next game in the center against Oklahoma, where they're a 72-point favorite. But remember, Oklahoma has a 9th-ranked defense in the country, in a very active defensive line. And then on that back end, you go to the Haunted Barn, where you have DJ Durkin as its head football coach. Alabama, 77% chance to win. So those are the rat poison games that Alabama has coming up. I don't even know if these are rat poison games. They're conference games that you have to win. And again, with Ole Miss and Georgia only having a conference loss each, you haven't clinched a spot to the SEC championship game. So you have to be able to battle through the rest of these games, including Eastern Illinois, to be able to solidify your spot in the playoffs, but also in the SEC title game. And wouldn't it be amazing, fam, if Coach Kalen DeBoer in year two, is able to get Alabama in the SEC championship game? Like, that's pretty damn impressive. And the same could be said for Mike Elko at Texas A&M. Now, Elko, his route this season has been a little bit easier in terms of the schedule that they've played, but it's hard to win regardless. But I think I would be, oh my goodness, could you imagine if year two, following the year that Alabama had last year with 4 losses, if Coach Kalen DeBoer is able to take this team to the SEC championship game? That'd be a hell of a run, all right? So there's your show today. We're back in action, but before you go, I got my my top rides coming up, okay? But I have to tell you, if you want to become a fan funder of the program, you can hit the join button, okay? There's many different tiers that you can join to support the program right here on Bama Football on YouTube, and I would appreciate you guys. To be honest with you, I have been thinking about kind of the future of the channel, kind of the direction that I want to take the channel. And as I kind of look at the landscape and kind of look at, all the other Alabama football channels that now exist with great content creators, I have to think about kind of what I'm going to do as an independent content creator. And, sometimes I think about, kind of adding some more college football to the slate. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. Alabama football will be the meat of the program, but I think adding college football, now that it's more exciting than ever over here, I think that could be beneficial not only for you as a viewer, but also for me as a content creator, right? Because I don't want to pigeonhole myself in just one particular area. And, so I'm thinking about that kind of as the landscape as I look to kind of my pathway in this space, okay? I've already kind of talked about this a little bit, is right now you have 3 consecutive home games. It's a 1-game season, control its own destiny. A loss hurts, but it does not equal an out. Coach Kalen DeBoer is cooking, and there's still room to grow, okay? So, look, all right, as you know, I took kids on a little family vacation. It was amazing. It's good to kind of disconnect and spend time with Caden and Lacey. Caden, my son, is 16, and my daughter Lacey is 12, okay? They are the joy of my entire life. So, these are my top rides that I went on. Okay, so I have to note, I am not a roller coaster guy. Not at all right? Never been one. But when I'm with the kids, they want to go on roller coasters, I'm down to go on roller coasters because they're my kids, okay? So the top rides, and if you've been on any of these rides, you need to let me know, okay? inside the Con Box. So these are my top rides that I've personally went on. All right. The number one ride, period, at Epcot is Guardians of the Galaxy. Has anybody been on this ride? Thumbs up inside the Con Box. Guardians of the Galaxy is a roller coaster that is in the pitch black. You're in space. It has a takeoff that is backwards where you take on some positive G's. And my goodness, I have never been on a more intense roller coaster in my life. I can't even believe that I went on that roller coaster. I'm serious. Now, the problem is no, there was no problem. The Burn, Baby Burn, that was the song that was playing. And I was thinking, I was like, damn, I've never been on a faster roller coaster than this. I loved it. And would definitely do it again. But I was thinking, like, my legs were wobbly after this, okay? It was fast. The next ride, this Hagrid's Magical Motorbike, fast as hell. So you grab on to this motorbike and you just fly around, right? Islands of Adventure. It's a 3.5 minute roller coaster, and you can see Kane and Lacey up here. They have their hands up. I did not, okay? That was amazing. Tron, all right? So this Tron, you get in like a motorcycle bike again, and you take off, 60 miles an hour or whatever. I can't believe I did that. It was insane. Kaden was right next to me, and we're looking at each other, and we're like, my goodness, we're like, damn, as it took off. Donkey Kong, mine, was insane. Really fun ride. You like lose tracks and stuff like that. Revenge of the Mummy. You guys done this? It's an indoor roller coaster. Another one goes fast. And then honorable mention, E.T. Adventure. It's kind of like a throwback. And then Rise of the Resistance was good. Yeah, Caden's big, dude. He's so I'm 205. Caden's like, I don't know, 210, 215, 16. So he's a big dude for sure. Yeah. So, and then Lacey, she's so sweet. She's 12. So it was like the perfect time to take the kids, and just spend time with them. I kind of we went to Pirates of the Caribbean for sure. Yeah. Caden's 16. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, these aren't all the rides we did. We did many more rides, but this is just kind of like the top rides. But we did as many rides as we could. So, and went to Hollywood Studios, then took the Skyliner to Epcot, then the monorail to Magic Kingdom, and the next day went to the Universal. We went to Hollywood Horror Nights or Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. Then went to Universal Studios Epic, which is a new theme park, and then we went to Universal, and then we went to Islands of Adventure. So it was a fast trip, but a good trip, and it's hard for me to unplug because I'm so dialed in. You know what I'm saying? But Lacey was like, I don't want you to be on your phone, and I just want you to enjoy your time. So as you know, I didn't post anything, which is hard for me to disconnect, but it's all good. I kind of get sad because I'm like, damn, man, it's like time is fleeting with my kids. And it's just like, I love being with them so much, and God has given me such an amazing opportunity to parent them. You know what I'm saying? It's like the most amazing thing that I could ever do in my life is my kids. So being with them means more to me than anything that I'll ever have in this life. And to be able to experience it, all the time. Not only like, you don't have to take your kids to like an amusement park. You just be with your kids. That's it. Because time just flies. It's crazy. The last time I had been there prior to this was 8 years ago. 8 years. Remember when Alabama played Louisville down in Orlando? It was crazy. That was the last time I was there. It was 8 years ago. And thinking about all that time that is, gone by during that, it's crazy. Auburn's had like 7 coaches since then. So anyways, dad life is the best life that I got. And, but I appreciate you guys kicking it with me and giving me some grace, as I, spent time with my family. And I know you got a family too, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me because you guys are also my family right here inside the Con Box. Thank you very much for the super chats and for being here on Bama Football on YouTube. News that happens, we have Coach Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack coming up around the midday. You know how we do it. We'll chop some stuff up. Follow me on the Facebook channel as well. News as it happens. You also have Alabama basketball tonight. Taking on North Dakota. I'm going to watch that basketball team and, provide some feedback maybe on the channel or on the Facebook channel, kind of depending. But I don't even know how I'm going to watch the game. I got to figure out my TV situation. I'm washing my clothes, all right, this morning. I have my show. I got the kids off to school. and now I got to figure out what I got to do for TV. All right. So if you know, let me know inside the comment box if you got FUBU. If you got, am I even saying that right? FUBU? Because FUBU for me was like the gear that you wore growing up, right? FUBU, Hulu. Then you got to remember all your passwords, all that stuff. Oh, my goodness. I know, rough life. All right. I love you, fam. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Happy birthday. If you had a birthday yesterday, if your birthday's this month, let me know. I'll give you a shout out, during my next show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Plenty more content coming up right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coach Kalen DeBoer at the midway point and at 12 p.m. and then news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Monday, November 3rd, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football